Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. Ha ha. How is everybody? Oh, it's anybody's guess what's going to happen. House of Representatives, what historical times we're living in. What historical times. And I am a little bit late. I just got a little bit of advice. Um, Never be in a hurry to break up a cat fight. Yeah, Sadie, she got into a little roundabout with somebody. And never leave your laundry room door open and forget and have some mean old cat come in and said he had to defend the home turf. But anyway, I'll tell you all a little bit more about that. Ha ha. Anyway, let me see who's here. Hi, what? How you doing? Melvita, Diamond Lil. Yeah, it's newsworthy day. Mike 1176. Brenda. Nikki, how are you? Finding Dory, how are you doing? Hey, Bubba. Well, it's nice to see you all. Hi, Kim. Andrew, how you doing? Quilt. Diane. So, hi, Donna, how are you doing? Patriot, no, no, SM, how you doing? So, anyway, Matt Gaetz flipped the switch. And 8 Republicans were pretty solid against him, and I'm sure Matt Gaetz was one of them. And we know most of the rest. And out the door he went, and he announced ahead of time in private conference that he was not going to seek to be speaker again. So we get some people in the chats. We're going to cogitate on this. Who is going to be leading Congress, the House of Representatives, as Speaker of the House? Henri gave me a thumbs up. Melinda. Nice to see you all. Mary's in the house. Yeah, she, I don't know if it was a he or a she. Cat came in the laundry room, and I was in here getting ready to do my broadcast. And, it's a quiet evening. Got the windows open, letting house air out, and left the back door open. Nice and quiet. Got dark. I forgot all about it. And if you ever heard a cat fight about 10 feet away from you around a corner in the dark, all of a sudden, it just is like an explosion, of sound. And I said, man, I got up and I couldn't see in the laundry room, but I could hear them. And anyway, I ran the other cat off. It wasn't very long. I mean, 5 seconds, it seemed like that quick. I cut the light on the laundry room. There's hair everywhere. They were going at it. But she's all right. I checked her out, and she went outside with her ears laid back and a look on her head and on her face, and she wouldn't even come back in when I shook some bag of food. She was ready to rock and roll. She didn't like somebody coming in her turf. Hi, MSM, how you doing? Nice to see you. So all's well. Hi, Georgia. Hi, Sherry. Sinsin. Gloria. Roberto. So, yeah, nobody got hurt. And I'll just have to remember not to leave that data. I don't remember opening it up, much less leaving it open, but we all do it. So I'm just checking the chat, see who's coming. Hi, Lone Wolf, how you? So, anyway, Mike says Donald Jr. would make a good choice for Speaker of the House, but we think about this now, because this is, I was going to put in there in my thumbnail, moves and counter moves with a question mark. Is this one of those moves and counter moves? So if you think about who would be, who will be nominated as the next Speaker of the House in a serious vein, because Donald Jr. would never get the political support. I mean, we can speculate and say, hey, it wouldn't be good if this person was, that person was. And we also have to keep in mind that most of you all know in the chats. But for the sake of those of you that don't know in the chats, Speaker of the House can be anybody. They don't have to be a member of the House of Representatives. They could say, for instance, I think it would be very plausible that they would stand up and say, I nominate for Speaker of the House, Mountain Man. And of course, I would second the nomination and probably win. But that doesn't mean I'll accept it. But anyway, they can nominate any person, any United States citizen. They could nominate somebody from the Senate. They could nominate somebody that works at the post office. They could nominate anybody. So that in mind, I got pen in hand. Like you hear clicking. I don't know if you can hear that or not. I got my pen in my hand. So serious thoughts, because this is not a surprise. Did you all watch Kevin McCarthy when he was speaking on CNN? Sorry about that. I had a cough. When he was speaking on CNN, that was the longest, most uninterrupted layout of the Biden corruption. At the last 10 minutes, you heard him lay out everything about the bank accounts, about the bribes, about the quid pro Joe. And who do you think is going to take the place? I think it's already figured out. I think it's part of the program. And of course, I expected, hi, Lisa. She said, is DJT going to be? Well, that's one that would definitely be what people are thinking. And, I'll be selfish. That's why I did the thumbnail the way I did. I put Matt Gaetz doing a selfie with DJT, right? So that's one person. Ronald says Grassley. Now, he's a senator. He's a senator in a lot of big positions. So, and I think he has a job to do, and he's going to do it. I think he's committed to the Senate, but I doubt they would pull as close as the Senate is. As close as the Senate is as far as flipping control, I doubt very seriously that they would pull somebody from the Senate. So I'm just looking to see who. Somebody said Ben Carson. Ben Carson, Scalise. Scalise would be a good choice. That's who I thought it was going to be first go around. He was diagnosed with lymphoma. Was it lymphoma? Byron D. He has already been. I saw a report where Byron was being nominated, considered for nomination. So that is a realistic one. People are going to be speculating about DJT. It's already been reported that Byron D. is one of the people in the running. And I'm trying to see here. Okay, Scalise. So that's three: DJT, Byron Donalds, Scalise, because I don't think they'll pull anybody out of the Senate. Not somebody with a heavy duty seniority and chairmanship as Grassley. A lot more power in the Senate than Speaker of the House. A lot more power. So I'm seeing if who else. Who else it might be? Well, that's the choices so far that the chats are coming up with. I don't think Don Jr. would get the support from rhinos. Don't forget there's rhinos. Nunes. That's interesting. Now, I'll write that down. Nunes. Now, he dug a lot of dirt up on him, didn't he? That it hasn't be Mr. T, hasn't. I don't know, Tucker. Well, that is a nice thought, but he wouldn't have the support. Definitely wouldn't have support of all the Republicans and none of the Democrats. Ronald said Robinson, Mark Robinson, governor. I'm going to write that down. So, DJT doesn't want speaker. Wait a minute, where'd my chats go? Where'd it go? Huh. Where'd it go? I was reading one. Said DJT doesn't want speaker. Hi, Pappy Two Bears. How you doing? Okay, there it is. DJT doesn't want a speaker. He wants his diamonds back. Aha. And Diamond Lil says, General Flynn. Let me write that down. Because I'll tell you what I think. Let's see. Oh, wow, Diane. What did Diane? Patrick McHenry orders Nancy Pelosi to vacate her Capitol hideaway office by Wednesday. Pelosi freaks out. Yeah, it's Patrick McHenry. He seems like a good egg. Nikki did a little background check on him, so he's running Nancy out good. Yes, and Donald's one of them. Byron Donalds, we wrote him down. Yeah, Tucker's not realistic, Diane. And Nikki could be speaker. Yeah, thank you, Debbie. I'd think about it. I'd think about it. Let's see, it depends on who wants it and who will get the vote, Kim says. So let's see, Redhausen, how you doing? Elise Stefanik. Yeah, that'd be a nice one. I'll write Elise down. Elise. And well, Rick Grinnell, Diane says, Grinnell. Again, I don't think he would work because he would definitely not get the Rhino vote. He would not get the Rhino vote. There's going to be probably a couple of nominees, at least two or three. A poll showed Nunes as top pick. Melinda said Jesus. Did I write Nunes down? Bubba said, shows him his top pick. Well, he is running Truth Social. That shouldn't stop him. Carrie Lake, Wicked Trillium said, she definitely wouldn't get any Rhino support. None. Zero. Kicking Bird, how you doing? Pillow Man, yeah, they never put him in there. They're trying to indict him and all his employees doing a what do you call it? Audits on all of them. Hi, Sissy, how you doing? Elon isn't busy, yeah, but no, he wouldn't get somebody that's politically viable. So let's be serious. Nino for speaker. No, it wouldn't be Nino. What do you think the chances of 1 to 10 that they put in Donald Trump? I got Trump's name up at the top. We got Trump, Byron Donalds. These are the ones that are, would have a shot. Trump, Byron Donalds, Steve Scalise, Devin Nunes, Mark Robinson, General Flynn, Elise Stefanik, and Rick Grinnell. I wrote him down, even though they wouldn't go for Rick Grinnell. Jim Jordan, no, he's got a chairmanship. He's our leg breaker, Mac. He's breaking legs in investigations. Kennedy Jr., he's going to keep going with his run. Bobby Kennedy. Robert. Hi, Jared. How you doing? Andy Biggs. That's one of them. Well, do you think, let me tell you about DJT, Mr. T. I don't believe the notion is there for him to be speaker and then become president via the speakership. That's been speculated for a long time. Hi, Marla. That was speculated. Even Jan Halper Hayes, the lady in orange, said that she thought that was one of the strategies they would use. And we have heard Mr. T say, I'm going to be back sooner than you think. And as far as I'm concerned, McCarthy didn't look even a little bit miffed. He didn't look upset. He didn't look angry. He didn't seem to bother him. And he gave a very cogent press conference. And like I said, he did a verbal indictment of the Biden crime family on CNN. And he came across as reasonable. Whether you agree with him or not, I'm talking about public perception. When you're on CNN and you're able to get all that trash and information thrown out there in front of the people on CNN and not get cut off or interrupted. He came across to the average person and even the Trump haters, okay, the ones who can't stand Trump, was listening to him. And he laid all the dirt out, uncensored. So, and he doesn't seem like his boat is rocked one bit. So Kate says 0 for Mr. T getting a speakership. Debbie says 1. Outlandish says 0. Ian said Trump won't take it. Hi, Bill. How you doing? So it's real low. Okay, everybody pretty much thinks, because I can remember now, everybody, a lot of people in the chats months ago were real hot on the idea of Trump being the candidate, right? So, but now Dory gives him an 8. So, Sissy said, why would Trump want a speaker of a broke republic? So Bubba said, that's my pick. Imagine the subpoena power. Who are we talking about, Bubba? Jim Jordan's got subpoena power because he's chairman of the Judiciary Committee. He's chairing the impeachment inquiry. And one thing McCarthy pointed out, he said, I didn't even know this myself. But okay, you started impeachment inquiry. It raises the authority of Congress and gives them more power to subpoena by starting an impeachment inquiry. And that's what I've been saying for the past month, jumping straight into impeachment of Joe Biden. I've been saying that for a lot more than that, without getting some evidence, just rolling in saying, impeach him. The Senate would never do it, And we would look worse than Democrats were trying to go after Trump. So Lisa said, Mike Pence, that's interesting. Boy, I tell you what, even though I have a different opinion about that, there would be a lot of Republicans who would not touch that with a 10-foot pole. Doug said, how do you sneak one in there? Ha, ha, ha. That's right, Doug. That's right. So I've got this list here of who do we think will be nominated? Well, even though Jan Halper Hayes hinted at it, even though many pundits and people on the internet have been saying for a long time Trump would be Speaker and be made president early through the Speaker of the House position, I respectfully disagree. I'm in agreement with many in the chats that, first of all, Trump wouldn't want it. It would be a step down. I've talked about that in the past. 2, I feel that it would, as far as the general public, it would be perceived as shenanigans, manipulation, and some sort of trickery to gain the presidency. All that while he's battling those sorts of accusations already in different states and different courtrooms. So I am thinking that Trump is not. Mike Taylor News says Trump would be open to serving as House Speaker. That's true. Well, he could say, well, they want me to serve. Who am I to say no to people who are asking me to serve my country? So wouldn't that be something? Do you think he's doing that just to get them all up on their toes? Trump also said in his last rally, in just 5 short months, we'll beat Joe Biden. Well, 5 short months is when the Iowa primary would be coming around. And I don't know if that's a message or not, because how would he beat Joe Biden in a primary, a Republican primary? CJ, 1975, how are you doing? Well, somebody just reported that Mr. T said he would think about it. I'll have to see what he posts on Truth and then the word social, right? So I don't look for it. I think Trump is scaring the bejabbers out of them. I think all what they would need to have is 100% Republican support. Now, I want you to think about this, folks. There are certain names that haven't come up because we're thinking about what we have on our bench for our team. You got to think about the other team because they get to nominate people too. Yeah, they nominated him last time, Mike. They nominated Mr. T last time. And during the vote, I think he got maybe 2 or 3 votes. Only 2 or 3 votes. The majority, you got to remember, whoever is a strong Republican that gets nominated, they're going to need all the Republican support. And there are rhinos that will never Trumpers that would not touch Trump with a 10-foot pole. And what does the chat think of that statement? And there are 0 Democrats, 0 that would vote for Trump, 0. So we got a slim majority, and well, Nikki said we don't want to think about the other side. It's our turn. Well, think about this, Nikki, and everybody in the chats. Think about this. Finding Door said Jeffries. Last time, let me write that down. Jeffries. The last time, I'm writing these picks down because whatever comes out, I'm going to see what I wrote down, what actually happened. The last time we had this vote, Hakeem Jeffries came very close because, listen to me, folks, we got to worry about who they can nominate because 8 Republicans deserted McCarthy and voted to throw McCarthy out. All the Democrats voted to throw McCarthy out. Guess what? He's out. So to get somebody back in, if all the Democrats vote for their nominee and 5 or 6 Republicans break from the party and vote for the Democrat nominee, they would have a Speaker of the House. You would be naive to think that there was not 5 or 6 Republican backstabbers. There are. It all depends on who the nominee is. Right, Nikki? Lord Fetterman, he's in the Senate. You can't understand rhinos. They make no sense. Ratcliffe, that's a dark horse that might pop up. And the thing too is think about dark horses. A dark horse is somebody you don't see on the track. You know, it's a horse that's kind of back in the shadows and all of a sudden pops out of nowhere and wins the race. No, Tracy, the military can't point anybody right now. It's not public knowledge that they're involved. This is a civil exercise of civilian government. That's right. Jeffries is an Obama Jr. And if they nominate him and they just need a few rhinos to vote their way, that's right. But that particular nominee, Hakeem Jeffries, any Republican rhino that broke away from the pack and voted for Hakeem Jeffries is out of the Republican Party. It would have to be somebody they could justify that the Dems could nominate. And believe me, the Democrats have been thinking about who they could nominate. I don't think so, Ian. I don't think you can ride two horses. You can't ride two horses. Just like the President of the United States couldn't be the Speaker of the House. Just like Clarence Thomas couldn't stay Supreme Court Justice and be Speaker of the House. Phil said Tom Emmers. Dory says, are you turning your phone off tomorrow? No, indeed. Tomorrow's a big day for the test of the emergency broadcast system. McCarthy has still got his seat in the House, Lone Wolf. He's still a representative. He's just not the Speaker. Matt Whitaker. Yeah, he's Department of Justice guy. He was a acting attorney general. I don't think he investigates criminals. So there definitely would not be any crooked rhinos voting for Matt Whitaker or any Democrats voting for him. AOC couldn't get enough votes for dog catcher, house dog catcher. So, yeah, like Cash Patel, MS Motorsports, they are so entrenched in the MAGA camp. There's no way they would get there. You got to remember the rhinos stop. They would stop Donald Trump. If it came right down to it, they would vote against Donald Trump. So they would definitely vote against Cash Patel. They would definitely vote against Rick Grinnell. They would definitely vote against Matt Whitaker. I'm talking rhinos. And every single Democrat would vote against them too. So although it'd be wonderful to have somebody like that, and Mark Robinson, I tell you, it would be hard for the rhinos to turn their back on Mark Robinson. My turn. What's my pick? I'm building up to that. And Doug gave a hint. And somebody asked me earlier today, did the 17th letter have anything to say about it? How do you slip one in? Just like they took 8 Republicans to turn on McCarthy today and join with the Democrats, all the Democrats need is 5 or 6 Republicans to turn on the Republicans, and we would have a Democrat speaker nominee. Think of 2 names, Hillary or Michelle. How do you slip one in? Joe gets sick, he's out of the presidency. At the same time, heels up Harris, flies an airplane in a hurry to get to the Capitol because Joe got sick and he can no longer be president, and it happens to be the same type of plane Senator Ted Stevens was on. Oh my gosh, Hillary's president of the United States or Michelle. Think I'm crazy? That's right, Dory. Don't listen to the fear, honey. Yeah, leave your phone on. It's our government at work when the Space Force is in charge of those phones, in charge of the emergency broadcast system. But you watch, and don't be surprised if Michelle Obama isn't suggested as a nominee. And then you get a big speech from Barack Obama. We've had too much division. We got to pull together as Americans. And I'm confident that with my help and assistance with Michelle, that she would do a fantastic job. Yeah, ask me if I answer if I'm crazy. Ha ha ha. Big Mike. How do you slip one in? Because like Mr. T said, Joe is not running the show. He said it when he was at that the gun store or gun show. We know the general consensus is that Kamala Harris doesn't have what it takes. I had about 15 people drop off. That's all right. It's reality, folks. They don't want to hear it, and they got to run off somewhere else. I scared them off. But don't be surprised if they put Michelle Obama up or Hillary. Outlandish. We can't help you. We can't help you. That could have broke up the cat fight in my laundry room. You're welcome, Dory. So, what do you all think is the chances of that? And believe me, it is not far-fetched to see 5 or 6 Republicans try to show their their ability to cross the aisle, to show they're not a racist, right? They want to work together, unify the country. It's for the best of the country. And yes, I think she would make a great Speaker of the House. You know, every single Democrat would vote for Michelle Obama, and all they would need is 5 or 6, I believe it's 5 or 6 votes. It might even be less than that. Ken said, I'm Mr. Doom and Gloom. Hey, it could be part of the program. Part of the program. What does Mr. T do? He puts our opponents, I use that word instead of, I use it one time, enemy, but that gets the rhythm going. His opponents. He puts them in the spotlight. And that's right, Jerry. That's where Mike would be going. Gitmo. So everybody knows Joe's got to go, right? Everybody knows Joe's got to go. And Kamala isn't going to cut it. And the 17th letter been talking for a long time. How do you slip somebody into the presidency? So anyway, there you would have Big Mike on full display. You would have Obama pulling the strings at the congressional level. Joe limps along through Christmas, okay? I believe he's going to make it through the primaries. Trump's doubting he would get to the starting gate, but he is not dismissing it altogether. They get the Biden gets the nomination. The primary season is effectively over. You got your ticket, then boom, things change. Biden gets sick. Biden corks off. Something happens. They find something in what's her face, mattress back Harris. They find, hey, wait a minute, we didn't know this. She's not qualified to be president, or maybe she resigns. I don't know, like Spiro Agnew did. But whoever is Speaker of the House will be third in line of the presidency if something happens within close proximity of both offices being vacated. Orange Out says Trump will not escape from legal hell. Welcome aboard, Orange Out. He had a day yesterday where he, I talked too much about it yesterday, but boy, I tell you what, he owned that courthouse. He exposed that scarecrow, wino, communist judge for what he was, and made him overrule himself and humiliate himself in public. So you can bet that Jack Smith, who, by the way, did go to Judge Chutkan, and ask for Trump to be sanctioned somehow because he said he was going to buy that .45 caliber that had his picture on it. He actually did that, folks. So had you at Trump Foundation. Orange Out, Donald Trump's done more for thousands of people with charitable foundations and good works than you'll ever do for one person your entire life. You couldn't carry his briefcase when it comes to providing jobs, income, helping people on the ropes, helping poor people, paying off people's mortgages, paying children's medical expenses, providing jet transport for a child with cancer to go to another hospital for treatment. Having his planes deliver organs. He's done stuff nobody will ever know about. He's done more stuff that people will ever know about. So don't worry about what Orange Troll says, folks. Y'all have let them keep talking, because I will discuss what they have to say. The comment was he would not escape from legal hell. Trump made that judge look like a monkey yesterday, and he said that Trump Foundation. Well, Trump has done so much. Hi, Chris. How are you? So much for underprivileged people and poor people, and giving the average person jobs. He's given thousands of people their livelihood to raise their families. Thousands. And I find it odd that the people that criticize Trump, like I said, couldn't even carry his briefcase. They could not run a business and hire one or two people or contribute to the economy or help their fellow man because they have enough, they can barely take care of themselves. And yeah, it's true. A lot of them do stay in their parents' basements and play video games and criticize Trump. And they can't even get past whatever level, mid-level of I don't know, Resident Evil or whatever game they're playing. They can't even succeed in beating a child's video game, but they question Trump's intellect. You know, and a lot of them, I have to say, a lot of them don't even know how they were born, the nature of their physiology. They question even that. So anyway. So let him keep talking. Hi, Dante. How are you? Bill, how you doing? Tulsi Gabbard? I don't know. I don't know how much support she would get. She's been kind of out of the game. That's right, Angela. The judge made himself look like a fool. Where did that character go? Orange out. I want to hear what else they got to say. So I can't say for sure who's going to be speaker, but I am saying that Big Mike is a possibility. Watch out for Big Mike to be put on the ballot. Okay, Crazy Cajun Lady said General Q Patrick? Really? Is that his name? A Trump pick. Scott Marr, speaker. Well, we'll see who gets nominated. We shall see who gets nominated. So I wrote down who the chats were suggesting might get put up there. I don't think Matt Gaetz wants it. But Gaetz said, I won't own McCarthy anymore. The Democrats are going to have to adopt him. Well, Matt Gaetz said, well, it doesn't matter to me because I'm not running again. Got to get a whole new, the vote is next Wednesday, Outlandish said. Oh, yeah, Nikki, thank you. This is a viewer-supported and creator-supported channel only. I've got a buy me a coffee link in the description if anybody wants to help the channel out. I do appreciate it. And I want to put my, put up everybody that's helped me in the past. I might have a couple of names I got to add on there. There we go. Can you all see that? Make sure I don't knock myself out of the broadcast. Tennessee, how are you doing? Tennessee is a good example. He helped me during my Rumble exile. Hi, Doug. That's right, Doug. If they nominate Big Mike, he will be exposed for what he is. We got to remember the majority of the American population has no idea that Michelle is a Mike shell. Most people are not aware of Joan Rivers saying what she said and then Joan Rivers losing her life. But that will come out. It can't be information overload, though, folks. There is so much information. It's hard for us to keep up with it, much less for new people. New people to grasp what's going on. Oh my goodness. We've got the Feinstein funeral coming up. That's going to be taking up all the media time. Kathy said, how about nuisance? Gavin Newsom, he would never get Republican support. And he's got, I'm thinking he's going to be the vice president on the ticket with Big Mike. It's going to be Big Mike and Gavin Newsom is what I'm thinking they're shooting for. Plus Obama's history too, Kate. That's right. We've known about all that stuff, and people just think that we're in some kind of cult. When the fact of the matter is, we know what we're talking about. We know all. They know nothing. That's what it's coming out to be. And we got these sideshows. These sideshows of Bob Menendez. We got the sideshow of a new senator coming in because of Feinstein. We got a lot of stuff going on that the public has to absorb. We can't flood them right now. But they didn't make that move to get rid of McCarthy until Trump had the spotlight the day before. Yesterday, it was all about Trump. There was nothing else to report on. The cameras were focused on Trump. He made the best of it. He came out and gave 3 separate statements, 2 of them where he was exposing the criminality of these charges and the judge. And the last one, he gave olive branch. And we'll see what happens with the rest of this. But I'm going to talk about that judge here in a second. But I was looking at the coffee crowd. Karen Real, I appreciate you helping me out a couple of days ago. Tennessee, Miss Minsu, Lone Wolf, and Gary, and Aaron, and Kirsten. That was all in the last couple of weeks. I appreciate it. I just want to give shout outs. I always do. Hi, Roy. Yeah, you're right. If it's all about exposing the corruption, and the next speaker will be, whoa, where'd it go? There it is. A bad one to expose them further. Well, you can't get any worse than the Obamas themselves. And that is what's going to push them in the spotlight. Just don't be shocked when Mike Shell name gets put out on the floor. And don't you know, we keep talking about rhinos, how the Democrats will vote, all this and that. But I know one segment that they got a lock on, and that is the media. The media, all these stations that have been acting like they're coming around, CNN's coming around, CBS coming around, all of them are going to push for Big Mike when it may be Hillary. I don't know. But the media's already in the bag, are they not? That's right, Henri. Pig Lousy's getting kicked out of her office. She got to go in a mop closet. The mop closet. So, anyway, let me see. We had a lot of stories today. You know, when we were on last night, that young lady got found in that little 9-year-old girl got found in New York that got kidnapped. And isn't that a wonderful thing? It's a rare situation where they use the word safe. Now we don't know what happened to her while she was in his clutches, but somebody posted on Truth Social, and I reposted it, that today is the day that Florida. Well, let me find the rule. Here it is. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, here it is. Florida law allowing the DATH penalty for child people that abuse the little ones is now in effect. Okay, today that starts up, so that needs to go across the board. And let me tell you, that will lower the number, drastically lower the instances of these types of kidnappings and what they're doing to kids. That kind of a penalty where it's lights out, quick trial. So, yeah, he put a note in the mailbox at 4:20 a.m. That's right, Wanda. Thank you for breaking that word up. We all know what it means, right? Allegedly, Piglosi is the trump card? Well, ain't that something? I don't know. I think it's going to be exposing the fact that Mike Shell is a dude. I think that's going to shock a lot of people. Oh my gosh. I'm reading about that that liberal that was soft pedaling bail and claiming that crime was way down and all this kind of stuff that got unalived. Man, it's awful. I saw a video of the assailant, and of course I can't play it on this platform, but the guy is attacking him, with a blade, and he's going, "Hey, chill out, chill out, chill out." Gosh, it was awful, and he lost his life. I can't really talk about it. Next time I do a picture show, I'll put up some articles and talk about it. So anyway, yeah, Laura Logan put out something to remind people about McCarthy. And even though it's all true, I say that McCarthy is going along with the program, but she's reminding us that McCarthy voted for same S3X marriage, VAX mandates for the military, $100 billion for Ukraine. He voted to use Medicare to fund the United States Postal Service. He voted for drafting of women. He voted for the J6 committee. He voted for D.C. as the 51st state, and he voted amnesty for DACA. Just a little reminder from Laura Logan. But I think that Kevin McCarthy was put in a position to play a role, and he's done that. And what he's done is he started the impeachment inquiry. He increased the powers of the Congress, heightened the congressional power to demand documents and jail people that don't produce them, and to compel testimony. If he had not gotten that inquiry going, we would not have that ability, okay? So they say he did a backdoor deal for Ukraine money. Well, that's not the way Congress works, okay? Kevin McCarthy or any other Speaker of the House cannot go to the Senate and say, hey, we'll get together in the locker room and I'll sign a piece of paper. And no, it's got to come back and get voted on by the House. So that was a red herring. So I think there was some, let's say, tasks. He had some tasks he had to complete that would not have been completed by someone that the Democrats didn't have some trust in. It wouldn't have been, first of all, you wouldn't have got somebody like Matt Gaetz in. You wouldn't have got somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene or some real hard right MAGA person in there. You had to get somebody who could play both sides, and he did. And you look at his press conference today that was aired on CNN, and he laid it out where I guarantee you millions of Americans had never heard the facts that he laid out about Joe Biden's corrupt dealings and the millions of dollars that they were getting. He got it all in there, and he got the powers given to Jim Jordan's committee to start dragging people in and coughing up real documentation. The Pentagon came out and said they were running out of money. Ukraine is running out of money. They don't have any money. If McCarthy, if what they were saying was true, even if it was possible for him to cut a deal behind closed doors for Ukraine money, well, McCarthy's out of the speakership. He can't even do it. And he is not bothered one bit. As a matter of fact, he looks relieved. He looks like he's done a hard day's work, and now he gets to go home and have a beer. That's the way he's acting. He did a lot of heavy lifting. And I'm not saying he's a great guy. He may have been compelled to do it. But he was definitely given a roadmap, and he was given certain tasks to complete. He's completed them. Now look out for Hillary or Big Mike. That's right, he played a role. Jerry, he played a role. And he's still in Congress. Oh, I'm reading Diane's comment there. Your mother-in-law city. She doesn't like Mr. T. You know, is there some kind way you could say, could you please tell me he brought the world peace. He wants to protect kids from mutilation. He wants to secure the border. Just those three things right there. Peace, protect children, and the border. Just remind yourself of those three things. So when you ask, you just very nicely in a normal voice, you just say he wanted peace in the Middle East and around the world. He wanted to protect kids from mutilation, and he wants to secure the borders. How come you don't like him? Do you really want that kind of thing to continue? Because it's going to continue if Trump didn't get in. That's what you tell your mother-in-law, Diane. That's right. They're arresting them by the hundreds, traffickers and children, in Ohio and in Florida. I mean, just in the past week, you're talking about 400 traffickers and hundreds of children that we know of. And there's operations we don't know about. Yeah, he did look relieved. I would be. Can you imagine the pressure? And who knows? He may have gotten phone calls, he may have gotten threats, and I'm sure all that stuff being documented. He was talking about how his mother uh, left her car running in the garage overnight. Apparently, his mother's elderly. But anyway, he brought up his mom and how she worries about him and stuff like that. That stuff, that kind of talk doesn't come from nowhere. And now he's safe. He's in the clear. I mean, why they can't bully him out of anything. They can't scare him into he doesn't have any say about his one vote. But I'm sure he was under pressure. We don't know. Well, Melvita, that's you can thank the school system for that. Now, and I would tell them, your teachers are a bunch of man-hating communists. And once I get where I can have vouchers or I get a $10,000 credit, you're not going to that school anymore and dealing with any more communists and perverts. That's right, Henri. No one can say why they hate Mr. T. They just do. Childlike anger and hate, like 12-year-old children. No, Nikki, it's not the Biden administration. You're right. So anyway, I've gone over my hour. It's been very interesting. We've talked about a lot of different names. Let's see. Matt Gaetz was truthing out that he wanted votes to start immediately for a replacement. So we will be getting a feel of who is going to be sitting in the big chair. And maybe we'll get to see videotape of Nancy having to drag her furniture out of her office. And we're going to get some more action with Mr. T and his courtroom dramas. Jack Smith, his team put out a rebuttal to Trump's team saying Trump should not be gagged. Well, Jack Smith came out with a half-baked excuse why he should be half gagged, just a little bit, just gag him a little bit. So we're going to see how that's going to work out. And I would love to see him make a monkey out of these other judges and prosecutors, just like he did this bum yesterday. Oh, and I'm going to use the wordy dirt, folks. And you all know I don't generally use wordy dirts. But let me explain something to you about that judge. Everybody saw him give that smile, right? Everybody saw him give the smile. If you didn't, it's a quick clip where the judge sees the camera and takes his glasses off and smiles at the camera. Well, let me tell you what that's called in country talk. When somebody's in the position he's in and then smiles, if you don't like strong language, here it comes. It's called a shit-eating grin, okay? And where that comes from is, say, a boxer gets punched in the face and it hurts, and he smiles to pretend like it's not hurting. Or if somebody's literally sitting there having to eat crap and they smile to act like it doesn't bother them, that's what's called a shit-eating grin. And that's what he had on his face, because Trump was out in that hallway and he laid it out there that this was corrupt system, that they're destroying New York City and letting murderers go free. And when Trump came in there, that clown had to give his shit-eating grin. So, yeah, I was, if I like I say, I don't usually use wordy dirts, but once in a while, even Mr. T does it. He quoted Letitia James and said, "We're going to impeach the MFer," and Trump repeated it. And I don't say it on my broadcast, but that is what that kind of a grin is, folks. And yeah, that's right. He looked like a crazy, eater, Nikki said. And that's what they're all going to look like when it's all over with, because Trump is doing another term. You're going to hear from New York. I know my father was right from where Mr. T was from. He's giving them the business, okay? He's giving them the business, and there's more of them going to be getting the business and sitting around with shit-eating grins. So anyway, folks, I appreciate you all spending your precious time with me. I'll be broadcasting live again soon. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. And I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.